Hey everybody, welcome to Crossover Attack again for the 16th, whatever, episode 8. Yay.
Yeah, we're on episode 8, guys.
Episode 8. This is our New Orleans funeral for Stadia episode.
R.I.P. to a legend.
I'm Eric Freshley from Freshley Stream Games. This is Hunter Davenport.
That's right. That's me. Number one Arthur enemy, Hunter Davenport.
Arthur enemy?
He's podcasting now. He's in our lane. He can't.
It's Arthur.
Yeah, Arthur is podcasting.
Wait, the Aardvark?
The Aardvark. He's got Big Bird on his show.
Oh shit! I missed this completely.
I'm gonna crush him into dust.
Or I kind of feel like you told me about it like 2 weeks ago, and I totally forgot about it.
I'm gonna destroy that kid. I hate him.
Fuck yeah!
Starting podcast beef with Arthur the Aardvark.
Break his glass and shove him in a locker.
Yeah, nerd.
We got a lot. We got a lot to do. We got business to conduct, and I'm excited about it.
There's some things going down in the games industry.
But hey, if you enjoy this show, hit subscribe on YouTube here on Freshly Streamed Games. Subscribe to us on podcast services, Apple, Spotify, all the different stuff. We're video on Spotify and YouTube, and audio everywhere else.
That's right.
Let's start with Overwatch 2. It's out in early access, but not really.
It's not. This is the game.
Yeah, except for the PvE, yeah.
Yeah.
I played the beta a couple weeks ago, but I've really not touched since it quote unquote launched. So, but I know you have a bunch, so you go.
I have. I played a ton of. I got about 30 levels into the battle pass right now. Overwatch 2, very good game. It feels good to play. It's just a good game. Honestly, I just really enjoy it. The heroes all feel good. I've been playing a lot of tank characters. I like Junker Queen a lot. Junker Queen rules.
I really liked her in the beta as well.
I also played a lot of Reinhardt too, and Bastion. Bastion is my damage hero.
Bastion's totally new now. Like Bastion and Orisa are like basically new heroes at this point. They're total kits change, which for Orisa makes me sad because I liked the old version. New version's cool too, but I was better with the old one.
Orisa, I played a little bit of Orisa, and she seems pretty cool. I have almost all the heroes unlocked. Like I played 10 hours and I've locked more than half the cast.
So wait, hang on. I thought if you'd played Overwatch 1 that everybody was already unlocked.
Well, I've been playing on PC, and I did not play on PC. You
can merge accounts.
Well, for some reason, I didn't have them unlocked.
Oh well, you have to go on Blizzard's Blizzard's website and do that. But yeah, you can merge your accounts, so you'll have all your old unlocks and everything, all your costumes and everything. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't play enough to really unlock anything.
Okay.
One, so.
Remind me to remind you about that. Cool. It seem my concern about it not only just going 5v5, but also just having fewer shields out there, which is probably a good thing because ultimately the end of Overwatch became like a double shield meta, and that became really annoying.
Yeah.
But I'm a little worried now it's almost too chaotic and almost just like a team deathmatch.
It's really not.
It's not?
Honestly.
Good.
I feel like if you are playing the objective, you have a pretty good shot at winning.
Okay. That was my concern from the beta, so that's good to hear that it's not actually the case. Did you try, there are two other new characters, Kiriko and Sojourn. Did you get to try either of those?
Kiriko's fun, but I can't wrap my head around her.
Yeah. I did go into just the training lab and just mess around with her a bit.
She's fun. Sojourn is okay. I'm not a big fan of the healing classes.
Wait, I thought Sojourn was the damage class and Kiriko was the healing class.
I might have gotten that mixed up.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's the case. Kiriko's the Japanese girl that throws the what do you
She's
call
got a cool
it?
theme song.
Yeah, she does. She throws the little papers. There's a word for it. I can't remember.
The charms, right?
Yeah. And yeah, Sojourn is the Canadian black lady who has the rail gun and a machine gun.
She's cool.
She's like part mech or android, I guess. I don't. Yeah.
The voice lines are very good in this game. Like the little like banter they have back and forth between the heroes. I really like that.
Yeah.
It's been very good.
Yeah, that's always been a huge strength of Overwatch, and I think now they've added a bunch more. Well, I mean, they've had to for the new characters especially, but
yeah.
Yeah, I need to get in there. And
just don't play Sigma. I don't like Sigma players.
I played Sigma a bit.
Sigma,
again, back in the
I
old
hate
Overwatch.
Sigma.
I liked him kind of playing as
He's
him.
so annoying. Against him, it sucks in this game.
Yeah. Well, it's supposed to, right?
Yeah.
Did you buy the battle pass?
I did.
How do you feel the level of grind is? Is it real bad?
It's not too bad.
No?
I honestly, I'm shocked at how fast I unlock things, to be honest with you.
Good.
Because I'm, like I said, I'm 30 levels in. Like, it's been pretty good so far.
How many levels does it go? That Genji skin at the end looks pretty damn neat.
I don't know. I think it's... I didn't go all the way to the end, because I was just kind of like... Because I really just got into the game.
Yeah.
But... the Genji skin is pretty cool looking.
Speaking of getting into the game, we should talk about those first couple days were pretty goddamn rough.
That was bad.
Yeah,
that was really bad.
What did you have going on? Just like
so, I was smart and I waited a couple days.
Okay. Yeah, I would try to get in, and like I said, I didn't even play, but I did try to get in just the menus, just to kind of look at everything new. I think go back to Destiny, which I'll talk about in a minute. But but even that, like, it would come out with a insane countdown of how many people were in the queue, and then it would get to the end, and then and then give you an error, so give you back to that huge number, and it was a goddamn mess. I know some people didn't have their previous the Overwatch 1 unlocks unlocked in this one, which sounds like you didn't either, but that might be an account merger problem. There's the issue of the phone number thing, which I know a lot of people are pissed about. I think it's a good thing to deter cheaters.
I already had mine set up, apparently.
So did I. But it does lock out people who are using prepaid phones. But I don't think all of them, but some of them. And yeah, that's not.
I mean,
that's a problem.
That's not unfixable though.
No.
It's not.
Right.
Not a death sentence.
Yeah. My understanding, and I don't play either of these games, is that Rainbow Six Siege and Call of Duty on PC have been doing this for a little while, and from what I hear, it has worked to deter a lot of cheating in those games.
Sure.
So, hey, I think it's. I'm sorry, I know a lot of people are upset about it, but I think it's probably a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, and also I think I kind of said this on social media, they kind of brought it on themselves a little bit.
Yeah.
You gave them the perfect access to do this.
Right.
And I just don't have a whole lot of sympathy. I'm sorry.
Yeah. And it has been, I think they've said, was it 25 million people have played already?
It's a lot of people.
Yeah.
It's a lot of people.
So there was a bunch of talk before this game came out about how, it's going to flop and Overwatch is dead and all this because...
It's not.
Yeah, because there has been a lot of problems.
Yeah.
Huge content droughts affected by both COVID and all the shit going on at Blizzard.
Multiple sexual harassment lawsuits.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, actually, I forgot to put that in the news, but there was a new one.
Yeah.
God, who...
Great job, Blizzard.
Yeah, I know.
Great job.
So, yeah, huge problems leading up to this game, and I don't blame people for being... Plus, it being them calling it Overwatch 2, but it's really more of a massive update.
You know what this is?
Especially without the PvE.
This is the free-to-play relaunch of Overwatch.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what it is.
And that's why, when they were... gonna charge for it, I could kind of see people getting more upset, but once they said it was free to play, I was like, who fucking cares? Put a 2 on it and don't. What does it matter?
Yeah, that's not a big deal.
Yeah. So anyway, a bunch of negativity leading up to the game, but it seems like that has not hurt them, really. I mean, of course, like every free-to-play game seems like it launches big and then it steadies out to kind of where it's going to be. Like Multiverses right now is, it's not at its peak anymore, but I think it's going to be okay.
It's still making money, I bet.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
There's probably plenty of people playing it.
And I'm sure when Overwatch levels out to its normal level, it'll be fine too. Especially if, their content roadmap that they showed, if they stick to it, hey, it's like a new season every 9 months, a new character in every other one of those seasons. Like, I think they'll be fine. I need that PvE stuff, though. Get that out there.
Yeah. I'd love to see it. I mean,
that's what I'm mostly excited about. I'm a little bit concerned about it now because they had, like, when they first revealed it, it looked massive and it looked fucking awesome. And then now they've said now it's part of the seasonal model. What does that mean? I don't know. Is it just going to be like events that, hey, this event's here this season, it's gone again after that? That would be a huge bummer.
That Halloween event they always did.
Yeah, exactly. If it's more stuff like that, I'm going to be bummed. But I don't think they're going to do that. I think they're going to deliver on what they originally talked about. Because that was kind of the stuff that has taken so long, was all the PvE stuff. I hear the PvP changes really they've only been working on the last year, and before that it was all the PvE things. So I'd be really surprised if they threw all that out. But let's move on to the hottest new release, Destiny 2. I'm sorry, I didn't play anything else. I feel kind of bad about that. I did want to...
Oh, wait till we get to my game.
I know. It's not that it's old, it's just that I've talked about it on the show before. I don't mind talking about old games. I just feel like I've talked about this a couple times, but I've done new stuff. Anyway, I want to get to Deathloop, or finish Deathloop. I mean, I've started it. And I want to do Mario plus Rabbids before the sequel comes out, but I just can't fucking pull myself away from Destiny 2. I've caught up now on Season of the Haunted, which is the season before this current one, and Season of the Plunder, which is the current one. And I am just amazed at how they have taken their biggest weakness, which was telling a cohesive story, and just done 180 degrees on that, and now they're really fucking good at it. The plot of Destiny has gotten, maybe not even the plot, but just the way they tell their stories has gotten really, really good. There's a big hump to get over, because you have to somehow learn the story thus far, which is when they were bad at it. They didn't get good at it till probably somewhere between Beyond Light and The Witch Queen is when they started really turning things around. And I gotta stop saying I've been noticing that in my podcast. I've been noticing that in my podcast and my videos how bad I am at that. I just did it. But Season of the Haunted, the activity in it I didn't love so much. It was kind of just roaming around. It was sort of an evolution of the escalation protocol, which used to be on Mars and is now sunsetted. But Season of the Plunder is a much more enjoyable activity to me. There's actually 3 smaller activities in that, and the pirate theming on that is awesome. Especially this 6-person activity where you're on a pirate ship that's getting invaded. You have to fend off the invaders and then launch yourself in a cannon onto their ship and fuck up their ship and then come back and defeat them all with 6 people. And just the pirate theming is great. It's got a tremendous music around it. The weapons, I still like the weapons in Season of the Risen, which was the season that launched with Witch Queen, the one before Plunder and Haunted. Those are my favorite set of weapons probably ever launched in the game as far as like the seasonal set. But Haunted has got a great trace rifle that I really like, a great auto rifle that I really like. Plunder, most of those weapons have been kind of a miss for me, except the submachine gun. I really like that. It's a stasis submachine gun. And yeah, I'm really impressed with how the storytelling in Destiny has gotten to. There is a YouTuber called My Name is Bife, who I watched to catch up on the story. He does great videos, but they're so long. At least the one that kind of teaches you all about the beginning of the universe, and then takes you through the story of Destiny 1, and then the story of most of Destiny 2. And I watched that to catch me up, but it's such a long video. It's like 6 hours, so I don't watch it all at once. But I do recommend it if you want to get into Destiny. Make your way through that in pieces, and then that'll catch you up to the point they're at now, where they're now actually really, really good at telling a story. Just got to get through all the bad shit first. I think that's all for Destiny, right? Do you have questions?
Do I have questions about Destiny?
No.
Not particularly.
Okay.
Eh.
Yeah. I'm really looking forward to Lightfall. It looks fucking cool. World of Warcraft, though.
All right, so I've been on a journey these past couple weeks.
I think last episode you said you hated that game.
I did.
Okay.
And then the siren call was too great. Yeah, no, I started playing World of Warcraft. I'm Alliance Night Elf Rogue. Turns out I just hate playing Warrior. So, oh my god, she hates Warrior too. Yeah, no, that was just an awful experience the first time I played it, and now I'm playing it again.
So the Night Elf Rogue, is this your first time playing that class?
Yes.
Okay. What does that class do? I mean, I can assume with Rogue it's probably bow focused, but
DPS. You can dual wield daggers. Do like stealth stuff. It's pretty good. But like I've kind of had this weird kind of awakening with MMOs where I've just been really enjoying them a lot lately. I really like number go up. That's my favorite thing in the world right now.
Isn't that why we play video games, to see numbers go up?
That's true. I love looking at a number and it gets higher exponentially.
Fuck yeah.
But yeah, I'm really enjoying World of Warcraft. I'm still playing Final Fantasy 14 too. I just have not. I'm taking a break because Realm Reborn is so long and I have to pace myself.
And shit, even after finishing that, you're only like 25% of the way through all the stuff.
Exactly. I have to take my time.
Have you dipped in at all to World of Warcraft Classic, or are you playing the current one?
No,
okay.
I'm playing retail right now. Okay. But I have been offered to join a guild in Wrath of the Lich King, and I'm thinking about it.
Okay.
Because I've the last time I had a sub to World of Warcraft was Mists of Pandaria. So
I really wonder if they're gonna throw in a World of Warcraft sub to Game Pass Ultimate once
I think they should.
So here's the deal. This is kind of going off on a tangent, and I have this other list here I got to pull up for this. But I was thinking, and I feel like a lot of people agree. Jeff Grubb has talked about this. It's on Xbox's long-term roadmap to eventually get rid of Xbox Live Gold and just make multiplayer free. Because if you play Xbox games on PC right now, you're not paying for multiplayer. If you play them on the cloud, I think you're not paying for multiplayer. It's only on the console, and that sucks. So I think they're eventually going to get rid of that, and then but then they don't want everybody to just drop down to from Game Pass Ultimate to Game Pass, right? So they need to come up with something else to offer Game Pass Ultimate to keep people at that high level. And what I was thinking, and this might be too much, I might be crazy here, but I'm going to throw it in anyway. They say, hey, if you remember Game Pass Ultimate, you get all the battle passes for Halo Infinite, Overwatch 2, Call of Duty Warzone, the regular Call of Duty, whatever it is at the time, Diablo 4, Sea of Thieves, plus the subscriptions to World of Warcraft, Fallout 76, Elder Scrolls Online, and a Candy Crush thing. I assume Candy Crush is some kind of subscription. I don't know, but I would guess.
The Candy Crush Battle Pass?
Probably something. I don't know. If they throw all those in, I think that'll keep people at Ultimate, but that is a lot.
It is a lot. I think a Warcraft sub on Game Pass is not crazy as much as people would like to convince me it is. Is it? It's not. I don't think it's that nuts.
See, here's my... and I thought to myself, that's a lot, but then I kind of argued against myself and thought, well, is it really that much? Because probably right now... you can't think of... We're giving away an Overwatch Battle Pass and a World of Warcraft sub to somebody who would buy both. Because most people aren't doing both right now. They're doing, if you're a World of Warcraft player, I guess you're the exception here. If you're a World of Warcraft player, you're probably not hardcore into Overwatch and vice versa.
Yeah.
Or into Halo or Sea of Thieves and whatever else. You're probably not buying all these already. But giving those away might get you to dip in to some of those games.
Yeah, I mean, that... If you're paying for your World of Warcraft sub through Game Pass, you could also look down and be like, oh, well, I can see, Deathloop is on Game Pass. Might check that out,
Yeah, and even if we're talking specifically about the ones with these Battle Pass and subs that they would give away, theoretically, under my thing, then say, hey, I'll dip into Fallout 76 for the first time.
Yeah.
And then you think, well, okay, we're giving away the subscription, but we're getting new users to dip into the game. So I don't know. I think it might work out.
I think it's good advertising for.
I hope so. I hope that's the way it goes. I know
It is a lot of money just put on Game Pass. Like,
it
it's
is.
A lot of value.
It is. Hey, but hey, they're a pretty rich company.
That's true.
So let's. We talked about Destiny and World of Warcraft, and a little bit of Final Fantasy. Let's talk about MMOs. We're doing. We don't normally do this, but I kind of want to do before we get to the news, a topic, I guess. What does an MMO need to do to grab you in 2022? Final Fantasy 14 still. I'd say has that overtaken World of Warcraft to officially become number one? Are there more people playing that one?
I think it's neck and neck, honestly.
So those two are still big. I consider Destiny an MMO. I know some people don't, some people do. That's still real big. And then we've seen some others kind of have big spikes, like New World and what was the other one I was thinking of? Lost Ark. New World and Lost Ark have big spikes. I don't know. They've probably, similar to what we talked about before, they've probably settled into sustainable numbers, but I don't think they're, and maybe not New World. I bet Lost Ark is
Lost Ark is pretty successful, yeah. I'd say. Like, there's still, because it's free to play, there's always going to be people who are going to play that.
Sure.
Yeah.
And I think, are all those games we just mentioned, do all of them have a free-to-play layer at least? Destiny does, but it's not very good. Like,
World of Warcraft has a trial up to level 20.
Okay. And Final Fantasy 14 has some free-to-play level.
As a free trial, you can hit level cap and you get Heaven's Sword as well.
Okay. Now, when you hit, like, World of Warcraft, for example, you said level 20?
Mm-hmm.
When you hit that, can you keep playing, you just don't level up anymore? Or does it just cut you off and say you're done?
It says subscribe now, you can't play anymore.
Oh.
You can create a new character.
Okay.
But okay, I think you only have one.
Right, so that is just, that you said trial, and that's the correct word. That's not free to play. Yeah, that's just a trial. Okay. So, most of them, besides World of Warcraft, it sounds like they're all free to play. Is that the secret? Do you think do you think you could launch an MMO now at $60 or $70?
No, absolutely not.
I agree.
I don't think you can.
I agree. Go ahead.
I think honestly, a thing that holds World of Warcraft back is the subscription model.
Yeah.
Personally, I think people are going to come after me for this. I think, but I think World of Warcraft could be free to play with a battle pass, and it would be fine, honestly.
I wouldn't be surprised if Microsoft takes it in that direction.
Yeah, I think it would do better actually under that sort of, because people complain like, I'm not going to keep my sub. Well, if you don't you could if you don't have to pay for it, I think people would be more lenient with it at least. Yeah, I don't know. I could see it happening. For me, though, to answer your question about what makes an MMO great, what I've learned is the number go up. It has to feel good,
right?
First and foremost. And in World of Warcraft and in Final Fantasy 14, that feels great. It's fun. I haven't really raided in World of Warcraft, but in Final Fantasy 14, it is fun to go to a dungeon with a group of friends and just fuck shit up for an hour or so.
Yeah.
Just the leveling has to feel consistent. Story, people shouldn't know Warcraft story. I don't know. I think it's okay. Final Fantasy 14 has a great story that is worth playing.
Yeah, the story in FF14 sounds crazy from what I hear.
It's nuts. I haven't got spoiled at, but I saw a screenshot of what happens at the end of Endwalker, and I don't know how I get from where I started to that point.
Is there... I know most Final Fantasy games are not connected, but there's a couple that are, I think Tactics is in the same universe as 12, if I got that right.
I don't remember but there are connections, but they're not concrete connections.
Okay.
They're more aesthetic connections.
So, I guess what I was asking is 14... Now, is 14 completely disconnected from all of them, then?
Kind of, yeah.
Okay.
I will say it does have a plot point that is present in other games, like a title that is bestowed upon you.
Okay.
But
Spiky hair boy.
No, like your character's a warrior of lights, and that's like a thing for Final Fantasy.
Oh yeah.
It's connected, but more aesthetically, I think.
Gotcha.
But like, I could get to like the next expansion and be like, Squall Lionheart's here. I'm like, okay.
For me, the number one thing has always been that I agree with everything you said, but also the action just has to be good. That's why Destiny grabs me more than anything else.
Yeah, you would hate leveling in World of Warcraft, I think, honestly.
Yeah, I've never tried World of Warcraft. I've never tried Final Fantasy 14. I'd be curious to try them both, but I don't think I would be grabbed.
I don't think it's your thing, man.
But yeah, shooting shit in Destiny feels real good. So I don't mind grinding out the same thing over and over. These games are repetitive in nature, but if it never stops being fun, I'm okay with that.
If you're having a good time, that's like number one.
Yeah. The only other one that has ever really grabbed me was Marvel Heroes Omega. Rest in peace.
And R.I.P. Man,
God, I loved the shit out of that game. And that one... Go ahead.
I played 10 hours of that game. It was the best.
Oh, I played like 1,000. I went I bought a PC for that game, and I don't even play games on my PC normally. And even that one, the action was pretty good, but I was probably more enraptured by the Marvelness of it all, because I'm a Marvel fanboy. And they did a great job of putting in I think there were close to like 40 characters by the end.
Yeah, there's like weird, wasn't like Punisher and like...
Oh yeah, Punisher was one of the early ones.
Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff in there.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Damn, I missed that game. But yeah, there was a lot of problems with that studio later on. So that's it for me because, yeah, these games are repetitive by nature, but so I need the action to be always engaging. But I will say something, and I've been wanting to say this for a while, and I'm going to clip this out and put on TikTok too. I am a little bit... I don't have a philosophical problem with battle passes, but I'm a little bit battle passed out right now. I'm playing Multiverses, Overwatch, and Destiny, and that's 3 battle passes, and that's actually part of the reason why, like I talked about, I want to get to Deathloop, but I feel like if I'm not working on these battle passes that I know are expiring in a month, I feel like I'm wasting my money, and so I almost feel trapped, which I guess is what they want, but from a consumer point of view, I think, say what you want about all the faults of Halo Infinite, but what they did right was battle passes that don't expire. And I think that we need to move to that.
That's got to be industry standard.
That's exactly what I was going to say. We need to move to that becoming industry standard, because then I will buy fucking every battle pass for the games that I love. I'll buy every battle pass for Overwatch and Destiny if I feel like, hey, they're never going to go away. Even though I know in my head, I'm never going to get around to finishing all these. I'll still feel better about it.
Yeah.
So anyway.
I'd like more pizza souvenirs.
Yeah.
Like in the Overwatch 2 Battle Pass. Just got a random slice of pizza. I was like, what do I do this?
I got... they have Twitch drops on now, so I just put...
Oh, God.
I put it on Twitch for 6 hours and just like turned the volume off and wasn't paying attention to it. And I got, I think, a Kirika skin and something else, but there's a donut weapon ornament that's... I don't think it's available yet, but it's coming in like a week from now.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love dumb shit like that.
So shall we move on to the news, or is there any more MMO stuff to...
I do want to touch on also Guild Wars 2. I played a lot of that, and I really like that game. That's going to be my retirement game.
I know very little about Guild Wars 2, but it always seemed kind of interesting. Is it... Well, describe the combat to me. Is it action-based, or...
It's pretty standard. It's more involved than World of Warcraft, but it's still pretty standard MMO combat.
Okay.
Like, it's not... like, you do have to press a button to attack in this one, which is nice, because it feels like I'm not zoning out looking at a screen for, like, 10 hours.
Does that game have controller support, or is it just keyboard and mouse?
I'm not sure.
Well, let me ask. I guess let me ask you this way: do you think if they wanted to make it work on console, they could do it, or is it like?
Oh, absolutely,
100%. Why haven't they? That feels weird.
I don't know. The thing that I really love about Guild Wars 2, there's no membership, but if you buy the expansions, you get membership benefits. So you get everything you get into like a WoW subscription just for buying an expansion. Like,
and
it's really nice.
And you'll have that like until the next expansion comes.
No, you just have that.
Shit. Okay.
Like it's really cool. I wish more MMOs did this.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I do feel like, God, and this is gonna be like just the vaguest statement in the world, but I feel like when that game came out, I heard something intriguing about it. Now I can't remember what it was. But it was like, it's mostly like, is it more of a, do you split off, boy, I'm not even sure how to describe it. Do you split off into small parties more than like 100 people together? I'm probably not describing that well, but.
Well, there are instances where you're by yourself.
Okay.
Instead of like a group. You can have smaller parties, because they have the whole world versus world thing, which is like giant PvP stuff.
Oh, okay.
And they have also like a bunch of PvE stuff too. Like the Final Fantasy 14 actually took the Fate system from Guild Wars 2.
Okay, I might not know a damn thing about this game at all. Then Never mind.
It's pretty cool. It's a good game. There's just too many MMOs to play right now.
Yeah, I know.
It's on my back burner, unfortunately.
Yeah, I wonder why that and like stuff like the Old Republic all have not come to consoles. Maybe it's because of I know when you want to patch your game, it takes longer on consoles, and that might be a pain in the ass for them. I
think it's also like just kind of there is a lot more moving parts in an MMO, so like putting a port that also interconnects with the main game on PC might be an issue for like the economy or something in the game. Like,
yeah,
I don't know. I'm not a dev.
I'd like to see it happen at some point.
I would play the shit out of Guild Wars 2 on Xbox.
Yeah. Well, you will not be playing the shit out of Stadia. I can tell you that much.
Yeah.
It's
if only people said this was a bad idea when it launched.
Kidding. It's dead, and I mean really dead this time. I know we've kind of been saying it's dead since it launched, but now it's really dead.
They killed it.
January, they pull the plug, and it's gone. Now, one good thing, I guess, if you want to call it a good thing, is they're refunding everybody for all the games that they bought and all the hardware they bought. The only thing they're not refunding is subscriptions, so those 4 people will...
That's fair, though.
I think so.
Honestly.
It's good that they're refunding.
Yeah, I wonder if they didn't, if they would have got their asses sued off, like they might have had to. But either way, I was surprised to see that. It's I'm not happy to see it go, despite all the jokes and despite just how fucking ridiculous the whole thing was.
As sour as I am on Stadia, I was only mad because it was too early that they were doing this.
Yeah.
Like, it's just this... It's like, I want streaming to be a thing, but it's not a thing. Can't be a thing right now.
It was too early, and their business model was bad. People...
Yeah.
I don't want to buy a game that's only streaming. I want to... Like, I'm okay... Yeah, honestly, the way Xbox does it, I'll buy a game so I can play it on my Xbox, and then I can have streaming as an option for it. Mm-hmm. But... If it's only streaming, then I want to pay a subscription. Something that I can test out and make sure it's going to work for me. And if it doesn't work, I can get the fuck out of there without dropping $60.
There was also that weird thing that they had at the start, which they fixed. To their credit, they fixed this, that you had to have a Google Pixel in order to use it.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah. So when it launched, you had to have a Google phone in order to use it.
Holy shit.
Yeah. They fixed it shortly after. Like that was like a day.
I remember.
I think that was like a week or something.
I remember some other stupid shit at launch, like they didn't have a search bar. And
that's
your Google. That's your whole thing is search.
That is crazy to me that they did not have a search bar in the Stadia.
Fucking hell. Now I know you can't export your save by default. You can't export your saves into like Steam or Epic or wherever else. So your progress is just going to be lost on these games. I know some of the individual developers have come out and say, hey, we're going to try to make a tool real quick to let you do that. I don't know how many will be able to get it done by January. And but just by default, that's not going to happen. You're just, I know there was one story about a guy who played Cyberpunk on it for hundreds and hundreds of hours, and if CD
that hurts my soul.
I know if CD Projekt Red doesn't let him doesn't do something about it, which I don't know,
he just loses that save.
Yeah, and I don't say that in a way of like, to shit on CD Projekt Red, but that's going to be tough to do by January.
Not a lot of time.
Yeah. It all came down to the business model for me. I do think like their best opportunity is something else something they talked about doing and never ended up doing, was just when you're watching gameplay of something on YouTube, they should just have a button right next to it say, hey, play this right now with Stadia. And they never got around doing it. Xbox actually just rolled that out this week with Bing.
Wait, seriously?
Yeah, with Bing, yeah. If you search for Grounded or whatever, like the top result will say, play right now, cloud stream it. But that's not YouTube, of course. But, like, I don't know how many. I use Bing for the Microsoft Rewards, but I don't know how many other people are using it.
I do not use Bing at all.
It's not great, but hey, I get points off it. So, and there was a lot of developers who came out and said, like, hey, we had a game releasing for Stadia next week, and we got no heads up on this, so we're just kind of fucked now.
There were Stadia, like, hardware, or not hardware, who were working on the front end of Stadia, who were looking for feedback the day they announced this.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy. They just didn't tell them.
I know. I don't know if they're worried about word getting out, or if this was just like a last-minute decision, if maybe the executives only decided on this right before, or what, but that is terrible.
Yeah, it's fucking awful.
I hope all these developers are able to move their games other places. I think most...
Me too.
I know, the Kojima Xbox deal happened because it was going to be a Stadia game originally.
They approached him to make a Death Stranding follow-up, and they said no because they thought single-player games were dead.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And I don't think... I think a lot of those headlines about a Death Stranding follow-up are misleading. I don't think it was like a sequel to Death Stranding. I think they just mean like his next game after Death Stranding.
You know what I think it was? I think they were going to make a game in the Death Stranding universe, because he has talked about that in the past.
I thought Sony owned that.
Yeah, but I don't know. They could... It's Kojima. He could have some weird deal, honestly. Because, like, the only reason Metal Gear Solid didn't come out on Xbox is because Kojima just didn't feel like porting it.
Right.
So, I don't know.
So that was going to be a game that takes advantage of the cloud, and then when that fell apart, he moved it over to Xbox, and that's why the Kojima game at Xbox is happening.
Yeah. Which
may or may not be that Overdose game. Yeah, I guess that's all there is to say about Stadia, right? R.I.P.
Yeah.
One thing, I know some people are hoping that they will do a firmware update to give their controllers Bluetooth so that they can use the controllers on other devices.
I would love that, because I actually do like the Stadia controller.
I was going to say, I never touched one, but I've heard good things about it. It's mostly like an Xbox controller, right? Like, it's got offset
thumbsticks. It's like a like those generic Amazon controllers you see. Like, it's one of those, but it's actually good. Like,
I've always heard that I've never touched Stadia, but I've always heard that like the tech was pretty good. It worked. Oh yeah, it worked the best of all the cloud services, but it just.
I'm sure it did, but it's just not
business model.
We don't have the infrastructure.
Well, yeah.
We don't have the infrastructure.
Yeah.
Like, it's just not a thing.
Yep. So Stadia's dead, but E3's not.
Yeah, surprising.
Well, I guess we'll end up seeing. They're gonna at least give it a go. We'll see what happens. So Reed Pop, who they are a public events company, and they
do PAX.
Yes,
right?
they run PAX, and I think do they do Gamescom? Maybe
they might.
They do New York Comic Con. I know that.
Oh,
yeah,
okay. So it'll probably actually be a pretty well organized.
Yeah, this is their thing. And it's funny. I actually mentioned I didn't know the name Reed Pop, but I'd been saying for years like, let the PAX guys do it, which is exactly what they ended up doing. It's scheduled for June 13th to the 16th, and this is a smart idea too. They're doing from the 13th to the 15th, so that's 3 days. Are business days. That's where the press essentially it's where the press gets in by themselves.
That's where E3 happens.
Yeah.
Like,
and then the 15th and 16th, so one day of overlap there, and then the 16th all by their own, are public days where schmucks who buy tickets like me and you, which I'm not going to do that, but we could.
I'm not either. I'm not traveling, man.
Yeah, well, I don't even, like, all right, set COVID aside for a second. I don't even, I never really wanted. I love watching E3. I never really wanted to go there. It seems.
Yeah, I've never understand. Like when I was a kid, I was like, I want to go there. But as I got older, I was like,
it's a lot of standing in lines.
It's standing in lines, sitting in rooms while Sean Layden yells at you. I don't want to do that.
And you don't get to see the really cool stuff because you need appointments for it, and it's behind closed doors and shit. So it's like, yeah.
I mean, occasionally someone will snap a picture of the Twilight Princess standee that's up above you.
Right. And
but like,
go ahead.
It's just not. It's not a fun time. It sounds like.
Yeah. And the conferences start on the 11th. But I guess actually the conferences well, I'm gonna say the conferences like the companies can do it anytime they want. But I guess ReedPop is trying to work with them more. So one thing interesting to me is that almost every E3 kind of mini announcement before this and stuff, Jeff Keighley was out there right at the same time saying,
talking shit.
Look forward to Summer Game Fest or whatever. This time he didn't. And also, as part of his statement, ReedPop said, like, we're going to try to incorporate all of that week's events into E3. Stuff like, and I imagine what they're most talking about is like, hey, EA does an event around E3 that's not technically part of E3 and stuff like that.
But it's E3.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
I think ReedPop is going to try to roll that in. But and I don't even know if I really think this is happening or more just like a what if situation. But I wonder if they're trying to get back with Keighley and get everybody back together. It feels like Keighley would maybe have more confidence in ReedPop than he did in the ESA, maybe.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, but that's not hard. I think he's more neutral on ReedPop than the ESA.
But at the same time, this is going to be his first actual in-person event. So even if he doesn't hate ReedPop or something, this is a good opportunity for him to build his own thing and make himself a shit ton of money.
I mean, regardless, the Game Awards is kind of the new E3 anyways.
Sure.
In my opinion. So it's like, we'll see.
Yeah. It's tough to say. It'd be... if he's still going to try to do his own thing, I wonder if it's going to be before this, after this, or right at the same time. That would be fucking nuts. And then... And I do wonder if people... say, I don't think they would do this for Microsoft, Nintendo, Sony. They're too big. They'll be allowed to go to both. But say somebody like 505 Games, some mid-level, if they go with E3, will Keighley not let them come, or vice versa? Do they have to choose? And then shit gets really ugly, and that would get ugly. But in a way, I sort of wouldn't mind it because I don't mind. I got I guess a weird take on kind of press conferences and shows and stuff. I never get upset by them. A lot of people are saying I only want the biggest shit there, and why are you wasting my time with all these small games? I like seeing that stuff too. So
the thing is, it's they're not for us. Is the thing. People like to pretend they do this for us.
That too.
It's not for us.
Yeah, you're right about that also. But yeah, I think the more places there are to show games, the better. Even if people say, "Hey, I only want if it doesn't have GTA 6, fuck you." I'm like, no, I'd like to see other stuff too.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with smaller games.
Yeah. Skull and Bones, not a small game, but a game that keeps getting delayed. Delayed again. It was coming in, I think, in November, and now it's...
I can't believe they delayed it again.
I know. Is that still within their, fiscal year, quarter, or something?
I don't know how that works.
Yeah.
It could be.
I bet you, if this was not... If they didn't have that deal with the... Not Taiwan, Singapore government... This game would have been canceled a long time ago, but I don't think they can. And Ubisoft does want some games of service success. Actually, I didn't put it in the news story, but they They were testing another one called Project U, I think, that some video got out of that. It hasn't even been announced yet, but they're doing a closed beta test, and some video got out.
X-Defiant?
No, not that one. This is it seems like a co-op PvE game, which, hey, it was like, the video that got out there was not gameplay, so I have no idea what to think of it, but I like co-op games. But yeah, they clearly want some kind of game's live service success.
Sure.
It wasn't Hyperscape.
Everyone does. It wasn't. No. That is for sure.
Yeah, so Wild Hearts, though, got... we talked about last episode or the one before that, hey, Koei Tecmo and EA were teaming up on a hunting game. Well, now we've seen it. We've actually seen quite a lot of it because they did...
I honestly didn't expect to see so much gameplay.
I didn't... Yeah, it's coming out soon. It's in February.
It's pretty crazy. They've been working on this thing behind the scenes and, no one knew.
and I did a reaction video of one of the gameplay, I guess the first gameplay reveal, but I'm almost surprised at how Monster Hunter it is. Like, we knew it was going to be a lot of Monster Hunter, but it is, directly that.
It is.
And I'm okay with that. I'm excited for this.
Yeah, I mean, Monster Hunter is good.
My favorite game of all time is Monster Hunter World. It does, so I guess I will kind of talk about the points where it does distinguish itself, and that the biggest one is building. It does have...
Yeah. Minecraft.
Yeah, and I was going to say, I hate to say Fortnite-like, but and it's not really, but kind of is. You can build blocks, and those blocks can do different things. It seems like at the basic level, you can just kind of use them to jump off of and get on top of the monster, but you can also turn them into, giant hammers or...
that's pretty cool. That's the part I see. I'm like, that's interesting.
Yeah, zip lines to get all over the place and all kinds of different neat stuff. That seems to be the biggest distinguishing factor of this game.
It looks cool.
Yeah, I'm totally excited for it. PlayStation has rolled out their Stars program, which is their rewards thing. Their Microsoft.
This retrofitted NFT bullshit.
Yeah, it does sure seem like it. I know they've made the point that, hey, these are not NFTs, but it sure seems like it was at one point. Yeah,
they were NFTs at some point.
Yeah, that's my guess. I mean, there's no proof of that, but it looks like it. But one of the things they have done is, if you get to the top level of they got different tiers. If you get to the top level, you get priority in customer support, meaning you skip the line, I guess.
That is awful.
Yeah.
I can't believe they did that.
I can't believe they did it, and I can't believe they haven't walked it back yet, because this is now 2 weeks old or so, and...
Yeah, that's insane.
It really is crazy. And this is the kind of thing that, I feel like a lot of companies do, but they don't tell you. They don't just say it.
No, they don't.
Fucking hide that shit, man.
It's weird. Lie about it. I don't care.
Yeah, I'll never know until you said it and made me feel bad.
Yeah, damn. I don't have a fucking Sackboy in my shelf, so I don't get a new PS5 because mine bricked out.
I did sign up for the Stars thing. I haven't even looked at it.
I've seen
much.
Screenshots and it's fucking sad.
Yeah, well, right now it is for sure. And I think the kind of collectible things could be neat if you do more. You need PlayStation Home. Just show them off, honestly.
Yeah, you do. They need a metaverse.
Yeah. Yeah, don't we all? Actually, let's go ahead and skip to that.
I can't believe they skipped I can't believe they lied about the feet in the metaverse.
Yeah.
I'm so mad.
Yeah, let's go ahead and skip down to the metaverse thing. Meta's employees that work on the metaverse are not using the metaverse, or not much anyway. And they've sent out an internal memo that has leaked out that said, essentially, hey, why aren't you fucking people going in here and playing around? How would you expect other people to get passionate about it if we're not passionate about it? And blah, 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 blah.
Well, because it's bad.
Yeah.
And everyone hates it.
Yeah. It just looks like a second-rate Second Life. Or PlayStation Home. Everyone.
There's not enough furries in it, though,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Quotes. Everyone in this organization should make it their mission to fall in love with Horizon Worlds, which I didn't even know that was the name bit, but okay. You can't do that without using it. Get in there. Organize time to do it with your colleagues or friends in both internal builds, but also the public builds so you can interact with our community. So, and one thing I didn't know, I always thought they were building this. I didn't think it launched yet, honestly. They say they have 200,000 active users, and they say
What?
they say they get in the, well, I'm sorry, 300,000, but then there's been some information after that to say, that might be fudged a little bit. A lot bit. But yeah, I didn't think this was available yet. But apparently it is.
Oh, man. I'm going to play Horizon Worlds tomorrow.
I am kind of, I think it might make a fun stream to just poke in there and make fun of it for a while. I'm probably not going to do it, but that'd be very funny.
I'm already Googling how to download this thing.
Yeah, so did you know this had launched?
I had no idea.
Oh, yeah. But yes, legs are coming, except maybe not. Apparently all the...
They lied about the feet.
Yeah, all the avatars now are like just from the waist up. They have no legs. And then Meta came out and said, we're doing legs. And then people came... And then that video that they showed of legs turned out it might have been faked. So, no legs. I don't know. Maybe legs.
They tease us with feet and they dare take them away.
Maybe they should have no legs, only feet.
Yeah.
Just like
you know
like
what?
Kirby.
I agree.
Like Kirby. Just put giant feet on the end of everybody with no legs.
They can be really short.
Yeah. All right, I'm into this idea now. Let's get into the metaverse.
No legs, only feet.
Meta, Facebook, whatever. They also bought a bunch of studios because they also, if people don't know, they bought Oculus a long time back. So Meta Quest and Oculus Quest, all that shit, that's all Facebook. So they bought some VR studios. They bought Armature, who did Resident Evil 4 VR, and Recore. By the way, it's a game everybody should play because I know it launched in a bad state, but it got really good eventually. And it's on Game Pass. Give it a go. Give it a go. They bought Camouflage, who made Republic and Iron Man VR. And as part of that announcement, Iron Man VR is being ported to MetaQuest 2. It was previously PlayStation VR only. They bought Twisted Pixel, who used to belong to Microsoft. They made the Gunstringer, Explosion Man, and Wilson's Heart. Hey.
Gunstringer's fun. I like that game.
Yeah. That was one of the best Kinect games. And the final announcement, well, they made a couple smaller announcements. The final announcement that we might care about is that Xbox Cloud Gaming is coming to the Meta Quest and the Meta store, I guess.
Sure.
You can play,
Sure.
on all the VR helmets that they own, you'll be able to play Xbox Cloud games. They won't be in VR. They'll be like, it'll be like it's like watching it on a movie screen, essentially.
If you pay $1,500, you can get the MetaQuest Pro 2.
Yeah, I didn't even put that shit in here.
You can play all your Xbox games.
I didn't even put because I'm never going to own any VR headset, honestly. I just don't care about it.
I'm not paying $1,500 for a VR. I'm not doing it.
So I put in the stories here that might affect like the rest of the business as far as them buying studios and shit, but I don't care about their hardware, so I didn't even put that down.
Yeah, I'm good. I want more AR. That's what I want.
The Disco Elysium. This is a weird story. There's not a lot of details out there, but most of the creative people I shouldn't say most creative, but most of the head creatives in charge of Disco Elysium are now gone from the studio. It seems involuntarily. The details of why, like I said, seem unclear.
So,
but
Castle Supervice had they I guess in a subreddit somewhere, they were talking about how Zam, the company that developed it, is actually like a cultural enrichment. I don't know how they described it. It was like this important cultural thing in Estonia, and apparently that the reason why it's happening is because Estonia is kind of sliding into fascism a little bit, and there's some serious repercussions on the creative industry, especially with Zam.
They use the word cultural association here?
Yes, cultural association. But yeah, it's a weird mess. They also found out that there might be lawsuits being filed.
Ooh.
So, yeah, it's not a fun situation over there right now.
And it seems like the studio that is still there is doing a sequel to Disco Elysium, but yeah, without like, hey, the person who wrote it, I think the director. Let me see if I can kind of.
Which is really funny because Disco Elysium is about it's like this crazy political game
Right.
that talks about shit like this happening.
Yeah, I did find it like Disco Elysium is just not my kind of game. I respect
Yeah.
it a lot, but I'm just never gonna play it. But I did kind of find all that a little. I don't even know if ironic is the right term, but just odd that I guess like.
Yeah, it's this weird kind of like snake eating its own tail thing that I'm amazed is happening in the world right now.
But that game was such a massive success that
It is a fantastic game.
those people I suspect will be able to find work. Not to say that like, hey, it's all okay because it's not, but
I hope they make another game, honestly,
Yeah.
because that's a talented group of people who make great games.
yep. Then you may end up getting a Disco Elysium sequel and a game from the old people. The sequel, even though it's not those same people, and say
I've heard some stuff about hiring for the sequel.
Oh.
And I was like, ooh.
What I was gonna say,
So-
what I was gonna say real quick was, the odds I would say are against it without that original crew, but it could still maybe work out. But what about the hiring?
So they're looking for, the big rumor is that they're looking for people who have experience with free to play and monetization strategies.
Whoa!
Yeah. So
Look,
it's gonna get even funnier.
I'm not against free to play as we talked about before, but
no,
Disco Elysium.
No, that is hilarious that they even considered that.
Oh man.
Yeah, if it's, I can't wait.
Put NFTs in it. Just fucking go for it, man.
Yeah, they got it. At this point, just go all in.
Do it. Only game I've ever rooted for NFTs in.
Yeah.
Let's see the chaos happen. You want to play Horizon Zero Dawn again?
No.
You want to pay $70 to play it again?
No, I don't.
Well, they're gonna try to put this out. It seems like they're doing a remake / remaster of Horizon Zero Dawn.
Oh, it makes my skin crawl.
I know.
Ugh.
So here's the thing. It's not like, okay, if you want to put Horizon Zero Dawn on PS5 in a vacuum, I think that's fine. I'll probably ignore it, but
I agree.
Yeah, but fine, do it. Like when The Last of Us, it went from PS3 to PS4, and that was an upgrade. And okay, rock and roll, do your thing. But there's three things here that make it kind of weird. Number one is that it's probably gonna be $70, which fuck you. You put this out for $40 or less, okay, no big deal.
Yeah.
Number two, I don't think Horizon Zero Dawn is as good of a game as people say it is. I think it's just kind of okay.
I think it's fine.
Yeah.
I think it's a fine game. I'm not a big fan.
And the biggest thing, it just feels right now that Sony is so creatively safe and just...
It's amazing.
It's just uninspired right now.
They need to start fucking swinging for the fences again, because once Xbox catches up, it's gonna be hard to like get back.
Which is not, it's not far off now. I think.
Nope, it's not.
Early next year is when probably Redfall launches, and then just from there, it's fucking like.
A lot of those games they showed off at Summer Games Fest.
Yeah. I mean,
I look at and I go, those are hitters.
You could say it started right now with Grounded. Grounded's been a big success already.
Yeah, and it's like
Pentiment is soon. I don't think Pentiment's going to be a smash hit or anything, but that's probably going to be a real good game.
That High on Life is in a couple months. Like,
yeah.
It's gonna be tough to catch up. I'm like, if I was Jim Ryan, I'd be like, let's go, guys, come on.
Jim Ryan does not have, and in a way, it's not really his job to come up with the ideas, but I don't think that guy's got a creative bone in his body. I don't think so and like I said, it's not his job to come up with the ideas, but he needs to facilitate other people doing it, and I'm not sure that he is. Now there's also, as part of this, they're doing some kind of multiplayer version of Horizon. Now it's unclear if that's part of this though, or if that's something for later. I kind of feel like it's probably not part of this. Same with like how they split the multiplayer off from The Last of Us. I bet.
I think that's fine though.
I agree.
Like, yeah, I think that's whatever.
I agree. And actually, there's some making of videos when Horizon Zero Dawn launched that they originally planned that game to be 2-player co-op. They cut it.
Yeah.
But that was always kind of in the DNA of the series.
That'd be interesting if it was.
Now, I suspect this one will end up being a Monster Hunter-like, right? That makes sense for
Yeah, I could see
against
that.
robot dinosaurs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, and the other thing we should mention, and we didn't even. I probably should have mentioned off the start. The reason this is really happening is because Horizon Zero Dawn is getting a Netflix show. And we've seen from Cyberpunk and The Witcher, like, how much those can spike your games. And so they want something... They want a $70 product on the shelves for people who watch the show and then say, well, I should try out this game. And here it is.
Something about this just gets
I know.
underneath my skin.
It makes absolute business sense, but it's just like...
It does, but it's, like, depressing.
I don't know. It's depressing, and I would feel better about it if they had some other stuff coming out that was more...
Yeah, I agree.
Just out there. You're not seeing
more interesting.
You're not seeing them do stuff anymore like Loco and Patapong and when they were crazy.
Patapong's so good.
I've only played a little bit of it, and it wasn't that long ago, but yeah, it was really cool. I should do more.
That's cool.
I should maybe stream that, but I don't know if the adding my Elgato to the mix there will throw off the latency and not latency, but just the timing of the button press enough.
Yeah, that might be weird.
Fandom, makers of Wikia. I guess that like the name Wikia doesn't even exist anymore, right? It's all just
under the fandom banner now.
Yeah. They've acquired GameSpot, Giant Bomb, GameFAQs, Metacritic, Comic Vine, and several others off from Red Ventures. You and I are both big Giant Bomb fans.
Yeah.
There was a reaction on the subreddit of the sky is falling.
Insane.
I know. And
That was insane.
in a way that I think this is look, okay, I don't really know. I'm kind of just talking on my ass here, but just my gut feeling is Red Ventures was not really a company that probably understood games, and fandom probably does. So like I'm sure there's problems with fandom. Their fucking Wikia site is so ad-ridden right now. It's
awful.
Crazy. But
it's awful.
I think they will probably appreciate these sites more.
I don't see them changing anything about any of these sites, I'm going to be honest with you. Because it's like, GameSpot was the biggest news source in the gaming world for a while. Giant Bomb is this own beast of a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like
I feel like Giant Bomb.
why...
I know Giant Bomb went into a lull for a while, even though I always liked it. But I feel like they're coming back strong now. I think. I don't know if the numbers reflect that, but it just feels that way.
People like to pretend the numbers don't reflect that, but I feel like the numbers are fine.
I think so, probably. I mean, I don't have access to them, so I'm just guessing. But like, they're probably all right.
Like, it's not. I don't see why you buy any of these sites and change them.
Yeah.
I just don't see it.
And they Grubb and Dan Reichert and everybody there, they seem pretty positive about it. I mean, they kind of have to, so, take that with a grain of salt, I guess. But, yeah, I think it's going to be all right. I hope so, anyway.
I think it'll be fine.
Yeah.
I think people are just being kind of alarmist for no reason.
On the internet? Never.
Shocking.
Yeah.
Shocking, I know. But...
speaking of alarmists for no reason, that's a hell of a segue. 343, makers of the fine Halo Infinite, with its unexpiring battle passes, and a co-op mode maybe someday in the future, who knows?
Well, if you hack the game, you can play co-op.
Yeah. They allegedly might be moving to Unreal Engine 5. Now, couple things here. We don't know exactly what that means as far as, does that mean Halo Infinite? Are they going to port it over?
That is such a vague statement.
Or is that for the future? Kind of where this all started from was not Creative Assembly. Certain Affinity is doing Project Tatanka, which is supposedly some form of a battle royale for Halo, and that seems like it might be on Unreal Engine 5, and that makes people think, and I think there's a little more to it than that, I'm simplifying it, but it makes people think the 343 might be moving to Unreal Engine 5. But like I said, does that mean porting Halo Infinite over, or does that mean the next Halo? Don't know.
I think it's just for other Halos, because porting all of Halo Infinite to Unreal 5 at this point seems like a huge undertaking.
It does, but I don't even know if it's even possible. But if it is, it might end up being worth it, because one of the big problems with Halo Infinite right now, Microsoft has a weird policy on contractors, and I think it comes from like the Windows and Office part of the corporation, where they can kind of only keep contractors on for a year, I think, and then they have to either hire them full time or get rid of them. And most of
that is definitely from.
And most of the time, it's get rid of them. And so, and it's tough to bring contractors into 343 and teach them this new engine that they don't know, and then get them to work, and then they got to be gone in a year. So it's mostly teaching people this engine, but everybody seems familiar with Unreal Engine 5.
I thought the whole thing with Unreal Engine 5 is that it's easy to learn.
Yeah. Yeah, and industry professionals already know it, so there's not much of a training period.
Yeah.
So it feels like they probably should have done this in the beginning. I understand why they didn't, but...
yeah, it's just nature of the beast at this point. Like...
I wonder if this contractor policy is hurting a lot of Xbox studios. If it might be something that Phil needs to sit down with Satya and say, hey, this might make sense for Windows, but it doesn't make sense for video games.
It's interesting to think that the industry, like people like Unreal 5 is this ever-present thing, and the whole industry looks at it kind of with like this, ooh, maybe that thing will work.
Yeah.
And it's kind of cool because Unreal Engine 5 looks cool. Like, it's not... There's a lot of cool things you can do with it. So,
yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah. If they do port... If it does end up being... And I agree with you, it's probably not this, but if it does end up being that they're porting Halo Infinite to it, that means we're in for a long period of no content while they do it, but then when it's done, that'll probably end up being better. It'll probably be an Overwatch situation where, hey, hang on for a year and a half, but then once we're launched, we're gonna be all good. But Forge is launching real soon. I think that's really gonna fix a lot of their problems. But God, trying to change engines in Forge, I can't even imagine. Yeah, it's probably not Halo Infinite. It's probably everything else moving forward. That would mean though, if Tatanka, the Battle Royale, is Unreal Engine 5 and not the Blam engine, I think now it's Slipspace, but it used to be the Blam engine, then it's probably going to be separate from Halo Infinite, like Warzone is for Call of Duty. It's no longer a mode in a larger Call of Duty game. It's a separate executable.
Yeah.
Herman Holst of PlayStation Studios did an interview, and he didn't say much here, but one thing he did note is that some of their games, just live service games, we know they're working on a ton of them, are going to launch on PC day one. Not a surprise, but most of their kind of traditional Sony formula games won't be on PC for a year after their PS5 launch. Mm-hmm. Makes sense, I think.
Yeah. My whole thing with PlayStation right now is like, they're so afraid to adopt the Game Pass like mentality of day one on Game Pass, or like they've done like a Deliver Us the Moon and another Stray. Stray was the other one where that came to PlayStation Plus day
and
one.
Destruction All Stars.
Yes, it's like it's not. It feels to me they're afraid of taking a step that would make them a ton of money.
Yeah,
honestly.
And Microsoft went after them a little bit in this. And we didn't even. And maybe we will get to it a little bit, but there was more the Activision drama. Shit went down, and Microsoft went after them a little. Well, I guess Sony went after Microsoft, and then Microsoft countered back and volleyed back, and part of it was like, hey, we're offering our customers choice, unlike Sony, who won't fucking do a real subscription service and all this shit.
Yeah. But I mean, competition's good for both of them. It sucks that they're babies about it.
Right. Yeah. Well, all right. Well, let's just get into it. Brazil has approved the Activision Blizzard purchase. They're the first, I would say, like major country. I know Saudi Arabia did it first, but like that was never. You know, the ones they're really worried about are U.S., U.K., EU, China a little bit, and I think Brazil you could throw in there as well. And now Brazil is the first one. And their whole stance essentially was, hey, it's not really our job to protect Sony.
No.
Now, the UK, on the other hand, seems like they feel it is their job to protect Sony, because they kind of, all the things that leaked out from the paperwork in the Brazil stuff, the UK has made I think their board's called the CMA. They've made statements to say, hey, we're going to look into this further, and here's a bunch of reasons why. And all the reasons why were pretty much just parroting what Sony said, like almost word for word.
Yeah, but here's the thing. It seems like madness to me that they're even considering, because at the end of the day, it's IP. It's not. Sony can make a shooter that competes easily. Make a shooter that competes with Call of Duty. They just won't do it. They own Bungie. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
well,
it's not.
Bungie. My understanding of Bungie is they exist alongside PlayStation Studios, but not in it. So I don't know. I don't think they could get Bungie to make them an exclusive game. I think that was part of the deal.
Yeah.
But they got other studios, and then there's, I mean, they're making stuff with like, I got this mixed up in the last episode too. Not Fire Sprite, Deviation Games, I think is the one. Mm-hmm. They're making a shooter for them and stuff. Like, I don't know, man. It just, like,
it's weird. I don't understand.
Yeah, and fucking Microsoft's not pulling Call of Duty off PlayStation anyway, so
they're not.
I'm a little sick of talking about the Activision Blizzard
hopefully
drama.
Soon it just goes through and we don't have to worry about it, or it doesn't go through. And we can all move on with our lives.
I don't think it's going to be that soon. I think it's probably going to be February or March. Ugh.
God.
And it mostly seems like the UK is the problem. I kind of feel like the US is
I don't think the U.S. cares.
Yeah, I mean, there might be a little bit of pushback there. There was some from like Elizabeth Warren and people, but I feel like even they've haven't talked about it in a while. I feel like it'll probably not sail through, but it'll probably get through here, moderately easy. It seems like it's going to be the UK is the problem, which of course, that's, Jim Ryan ran Sony Europe for a while. Like I'm not saying he's pulling strings here, but
he's in the pocket of big Europe. Is what you're saying.
Well, there was a story that he flew personally to Copenhagen? I don't remember, but he personally flew somewhere to meet with regulators. And
that's so weird.
So I think what he's trying to do, and I think we mentioned this before, I think even if this goes through, he wants one of these boards, probably the UK, to put a provision down to say, hey, you have to put Call of Duty on PlayStation for X number of years. And it's his job to make X as long as possible. I think that's really all his goal is here. Which I don't blame him for. That's what he should be doing, but this whole thing's getting annoying.
It's so dumb. I hate it. We talk about this every crossover tag, and it feels like it's not getting any better.
Yeah, we're not going to stop. And it does feel like, one thing I will say, there was kind of a, not with the audience, but with the professionals at PlayStation and Xbox, there did feel like there was less of a console war for a while, and less of it wasn't so snippy back and forth, and now it feels like it's getting ugly again.
Yeah.
And that's kind of a bummer to see. But also, I don't know, some of it, like, has been fun, and some of it is just like, all right, enough already. Like AEW backstage fights.
Yeah, I'm tired. I'm tired of it, all of it.
Well, are you tired of games from CD Projekt Red? Because you're going to get a million of them.
No, I'm not, actually.
You're going to get a million of them. So they came out, and they announced a new Witcher trilogy, which They claim will be from the release of the first game to release of the third game is only going to be a 6-year gap, which good luck.
Yeah, that's a lie.
Good luck. Like, unless you're...
That's a fucking lie.
Maybe they're going to, like, shrink these games, which I'd be fine with, but I bet a lot of their audience wouldn't.
I'd be okay with that, too.
Yeah, but I bet a lot of the audience wouldn't be.
Yeah.
A Cyberpunk sequel.
Yes.
And a brand new IP. Plus, I didn't write these down, but some other, like, there's an additional Witcher game that's not made by CD Projekt Red, but they bought some studios. Like, they bought the Molasses Flood, who made The Flame of the Flood and Drake Hollow. Like, they're making a game in the Witcher universe. Probably going to be a smaller scale than the normal Witcher games. But that's an additional one. Just...
And then there's the other Witcher game that's also an RPG that's a spin-off.
Oh, I didn't even know that one.
Yeah, it's like Project Sirius or something.
Oh, wow. And also, they say multiplayer will be a part of most of these games.
Sure.
Yeah, I think Cyberpunk is due for a GTA Online style game.
Cyberpunk makes the most sense to me. I think you could do stuff with The Witcher.
The Witcher's another game, and I said this for Horizon and Wild Hearts. The Witcher could make a Monster Hunter-like game, or a Monster Hunter-like game in the Witcher universe.
It'd be pretty cool.
They did a crossover event in Monster Hunter World with Ciri and Geralt. I have a Geralt skin in that game. I don't even like The Witcher, but I have one.
Jerry.
Yeah. And the tree monster, Leshen, is that what it's called?
Oh, okay. All right,
that's one of the only monsters in Monster Hunter World I was never able to beat. I probably could now because I'm pretty overpowered in that game now. But yeah. Anyway, lots and lots. That's a lot of games. And I don't know if they have grown their studio. They must have.
Well, the Cyberpunk studio is a different studio. It's not the Witcher team.
Okay. Yeah, they've actually... I wish I put the link down because... Didn't they open a studio in Boston, if I have that right?
I think so.
Yeah.
I don't remember when... It's either Boston or somewhere in that area.
Yeah. So they got a lot. And I wonder if they're going to start... It feels like they're on the verge of either... like about a year ago or so, after Cyberpunk came out and they were kind of at a low, I thought they might be getting bought, but I don't think that's going to happen anymore. And I feel like maybe they're going to start publishing soon. Other people's games. They might try to...
I mean, they're buying studios.
Yeah,
I mean,
they're
in the game.
Yeah. That'd be kind of crazy. They might... and it's like I always say, kind of when people worry about consolidation, I feel like, well, for everyone that gets bought, a new one rises up. And CD Projekt Red might be making the move to become... Hey, maybe take Bethesda's spot, essentially.
Yeah.
That could totally happen.
They have the IP to do it, honestly, if anyone.
Well... Cyberpunk and Witcher, it's important to remember, isn't theirs. Like, they came from books.
It's not.
But that's still IP they made.
Sure, yes. This new IP will be, I think, the first one that they fully own, right? First time they're finally saying, fuck books. Books are for nerds. We don't need that anymore.
Yeah, we don't read.
Killer Queen Black, they are shutting down, which, I'll be honest, we're putting the story in mostly for me because I liked this game and I'm bummed about this.
I've never played Killer Queen.
I'd suggest getting the Killer Queen Black before November. It used to be on Game Pass, it's not anymore. Yeah, that really, really sucks. This game was neat. I didn't play it as much as I thought I was going to, as much as I wanted to. I didn't suspect... I didn't know they were in danger of shutting down, otherwise I would have put more time into it. I had full crossplay too with PC, Switch, and Xbox. Never came to PlayStation, but...
I've always heard good things about it.
Yeah, it feels like... It really is cool. It just feels like it didn't get mentioned nearly enough. They didn't advertise it at all, and... This is one of those things because it did, when it came to Xbox, eventually, it launched on Xbox way later than Switch and PC. It was on Game Pass day one, and it just feels like this is one of those perfect examples of why Xbox needs a Nintendo Direct style show, because a lot of their all right, first party stuff aside, just the games they make Game Pass deals with, they will tell you about a Plague Tale, because that's a fairly big game, but a lot of these indies, I don't think they're putting enough attention on Tinykin right now, which is fucking awesome. And And Killer Queen was another one. They had Windjammers Day 1. It just feels like they're putting them there, and that's great, but it feels like they need to do more to tell people about it.
Yeah, a lot of these games I find out through other people, mostly. So like I would like more of a spotlight shown on them.
Yeah. So that's sad. Pour one out for Killer Queen Black. Game's fucking cool. I hope that they are trying, and I tweeted this at them, and they liked it. So we'll see. But I hope they try again with Killer Queen Black 2, because it's not like, okay, the arcade game is still a massive success. So I don't think you can say like, oh, dead IP, because the IP is still a huge success in this other avenue.
They can make another Killer Queen.
I hope. And they did do a spin-off also, with like just a single-player platformer almost like game, which so yeah, I don't think the IP is dead, and I hope they try again with.
If it's making money, there'll be another one. Trust me.
Elle Fanning, who I'll be honest, I don't even know who that is really.
Elle Fanning, she's great. She's great.
What's she in? Well, okay. Actually, before you tell me that, I'll tell you one thing she's in: a Kojima game.
She is.
All right, but also, what else has she been in?
So she was in Maleficent. And she was most recently, the reason why Kojima got her is because she was in Neon Demon, and he loves that movie.
The what?
The Neon Demon.
Okay.
It's a very good movie.
I feel bad because I like only watch Marvel and Star Wars now. Truly.
You know, that's fair. I mean, not stuff like this isn't for everyone, but like Neon Demon is Nicholas Winding Refn movie, who was in Death Stranding.
Okay.
So the connection's there, so I bet he'll be whatever this is. But yeah, she's great. Elle Fanning's great. Excited to see whatever this game is.
I'm assuming this is Overdose, is my guess, but it could be Death Stranding too. All right, so there's a little confusion.
It could be anything. Honestly.
I know. He's definitely working on multiple games. It seems like we know there's an Xbox game. Yeah. We pretty much know that game Overdose has been leaked. That could be the Xbox game. I kind of doubt it, but it could be, which is a sort of a horror game. And then it seems like there might actually be a Death Stranding sequel also. Maybe, maybe not. What's his face said there was. Norman Reedus said it, but also Norman Reedus might just be confused. Norman Reedus might be in Overdose, and when he said like, "Hey, we're doing another one," he might just mean I'm doing another game with Kojima.
He smokes a lot of weed. It would not.
Yeah, it feels like the way he said we're doing another one, he might just mean another Kojima game, not necessarily.
He did specifically say.
Oh, he did.
Stranding Part 2.
Oh, I didn't know that.
He's like, we're working on Part 2 right now.
Okay.
Like, okay. Well,
then that probably is happening then.
Yeah.
Then, all right, maybe the Overdose game is Xbox, because I feel like 3 games might be too much. I don't know.
He did expand his studio, so it's not crazy.
Man, everybody's expanding. It's like, there just aren't many studios left that's making a single game. It's crazy.
No.
And that's
crazy.
not a bad thing.
You think about like Insomniac, like it is possible to like make multiple games and them all be good, because like Ratchet and Clank Earth Apart came out and they did that with no crunch, so like there are solutions to this issue. So
I'm gonna tell you, for everybody who says Naughty Dog is Sony's best studio, you're wrong. It's Insomniac.
It's Insomniac. Yeah. It's 100%.
It's absolutely Insomniac. Anyway, let's move on. Adriana Chechik. Is that how you pronounce her name?
Yes.
So TwitchCon just happened. Adriana was there. She's a Twitch streamer. And she jumped into this foam pit. Like they got this pit with exactly what it sounds like. A bunch of pieces of foam.
Foam pit is in quotes.
Yeah.
It's not. It was not like a. They essentially threw a bunch of pillows in a pit and were like, jump in.
Yeah. And I guess it was too shallow, or there was just not enough foam, or whatever. Something happened. And
it's very shallow. You can see the floor underneath it in the video.
She broke her back in 2 places, and
she couldn't walk.
And she's gonna need a metal rod put in.
Yeah. It's awful.
And the other,
I hope she sues them. Honestly.
And the other part of the story that is equally depressing is the reaction from. All right, so Adriana, before she was a Twitch streamer, she was an adult film star. And so you can imagine the jokes that people made.
A lot of
like,
shitty people were making fun of this poor girl.
And like, hey, you know, I'm not saying, I don't know, I'm not a humorless person, but goddamn, like, show some fucking compassion here.
Broke her fucking
know.
back in 2 places.
Yeah.
Chill for like 10 minutes, guys.
So, yes, I also hope she sues. And I did see her on Twitter out there saying, like, she hasn't heard anything from TwitchCon, but I suspect that's because, hey, they don't want to admit fault because they're suspecting to get sued, is my guess. And she should go after him. And I don't think she was. I don't think she was the only one that got hurt either. She got it the worst.
There was a bunch of people who said that they hurt themselves at the site.
Yeah, she got it the worst. But yeah, that's so stupid. The Final Fantasy VII Battle Royale turned out to be a bad idea after all.
Oh no! What am I gonna do?
The First Soldier, it was called, launched on mobile a while back, and it's closing in January, around the same time as Stadia. Yeah, there you go.
Funny how that works. Serendipity.
They really should have put this out on at least Switch, right? In addition to mobile. Yeah.
It should have been on PC. I think it should have been on PC.
Yeah. Mobile, PC, and Switch, I think, that could have, I don't know if it would have saved it, because I don't even know if the game's good, honestly, but...
If Genshin can do it, you can do it, too.
So, anyway, goodbye, Final Fantasy VII, The First Soldier. We hardly knew ye.
R.I.P.
Gotham Knights, good news and bad news here. Good news, they announced a free... So, some people seem confused, I think, because of Suicide Squad being 4 players. They think Gotham Knights is 4 players in the campaign. It's not. It's only 2-player campaign.
It's 2 players in the campaign.
But they announced a free edition in November, a month after launch, where that is a 4-player mode called Heroic Assault, which seems like you're going up a ladder. Almost seems like Bloody Palace in Devil May Cry 5, but multiplayer.
Yeah.
Which I think that sounds fucking awesome.
Yeah, that sounds like really fun.
I'm way into that idea. And that does make me think that they'll probably add more characters in the future, which I'm not so sure about with Suicide Squad, but with this I am now. But here's the bad news. On consoles, the game's only 30 frames a second. There's no option for performance mode, nothing.
For me personally, if I was playing this on PC, I'd be more upset because I paid $1,500 for my PC, but I did not pay that for my Xbox. So it's a thing of like, I'm just not... I get.
It is 60 on PC, though.
Yeah. But like, what I'm saying is like, if they announced that it was just 30 frames per second locked on everything,
I gotcha.
I'd be upset. But like, I don't know. To me, it just doesn't matter. I just want to play the DC game. That's all I want to do.
I'm unhappy about it, honestly.
Yeah, I get it. It sucks. It does suck.
At this point, after playing so many games in 60, I'd rather step on my mother's neck than play a 30 frames a second game.
Jesus Christ, I wouldn't go that far.
I'm kidding, but I'm not. Yeah, that just seems weird to me. Like, I'll probably get used to it, and I bet you they add 60 frames. Couple
they will. There's no way they don't.
But I want to stream this, and the only way I'm ever going to get anybody to watch is if I stream it like that week it comes out. So that sucks for me. I'll probably still play it, and honestly, I'm actually before this. In between the Heroic Assault announcement and 30 frames announcement, I got very excited because I started watching. Some more information has come out because apparently this game's out in reviewers' hands now. Some more videos have come out about what all the characters' abilities are and things like that. And I'm actually excited that it doesn't have Arkham Combat, because as good as Arkham Combat is, I've never been good at it, just for whatever reason. I know it's very rhythm based, and I guess I just have no rhythm because I suck at that stuff. So this combat of Gotham Knights, while seeming probably I think Gotham Knights is going to be a quote unquote worse game than the Arkham games, but I think I'm probably just going to jive with it more. For whatever reason.
Because it's not an Arkham game, it was always going to be this, no matter the quality.
Yeah.
I'm just I've accepted that people probably won't like it. I'm like, all right, that's fine.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's going to review worse than those games, but I'm probably going to like it more because it's co-op and because the combat system seems like more my style of game. And it seems like you have, abilities on a cooldown and stuff, almost like a Destiny-like, except it's a brawler. Mm-hmm. I don't know if stealth's going to be a big part of it. Seems like no, honestly.
No, they did show stealth in the first time they showed it. I remember that. But I don't think it's like Arkham stealth, like where you could just play with it, people for hours.
See, that was my favorite part of Arkham. So, Arkham is a tale of two games to me. I love the stealth. I hate the brawling.
Yeah, the stealth is the most fun part of those games.
So anyway, we'll see how that shakes out. That's out real soon. Probably next episode, we'll probably both talk about playing it, I guess.
Yeah, I'll be playing it, so yeah.
Helena Taylor, who was the original voice of Bayonetta, and is not doing it in Bayonetta 3, which now we know the reason why. She was offered, according to her, $4,000, which is not a lot. I mean, it sounds like a lot, but it's not for this kind of thing, to do Bayonetta 3. She didn't take that. And Jennifer Hale got the role, and I bet Jennifer Hale's doing it for a lot more than $4,000 is my guess.
It was personal. I firmly believe it was personal.
Yeah. And Helena is encouraging everybody to boycott the game, which honestly, that might...
I don't see that
Well,
happening.
not only not see it happening, but I feel like that might... I don't know if you... Yeah, I don't know if you should ask people to do that. Like, tell your story, and that's great. But sell people, so boycott on behalf of me. I don't.
I think that's a bridge too far at least for this.
And Hideki Kamiya has basically come out and said she's lying. It could be a miscommunication, honestly. Like, it could be that, hey, both of them are telling the truth from their perspective, but wires got crossed somewhere. Translation? I don't know.
Here's where I kind of side with Helena a lot more now.
Okay.
Kamiya comes out, he goes, all I can say is she's being untrue, and then he immediately follows it up with a weird threat, beware my rules.
Well, he says that all the time, doesn't he?
If you don't know, this kind of paints Kamiya in a bad light, because, if you don't know, those rules are only for English speakers.
I know.
He doesn't like it when people come at him in English. He prefers Japanese only.
Yeah, but he's been doing this for years, blocking people.
Yes.
But I always kind of feel like that's just him not taking Twitter seriously as much as some people do. And it's almost just like...
People are fucking annoying.
Well, yeah, and I kind of feel like that's just a troll gimmick of him a little bit.
It is, but when you use the gimmick to defend your game, it makes me not.
I agree that like, hey, maybe this is time to suspend it. Normally, the whole blocking shtick, like I think it's funny.
I think it's hilarious. Honestly,
he had on the Wonderful 101 Kickstarter, one of the not stretch goals, but pledge goals, I guess, was hey, if you pledge this month, Kamiya will block you on Twitter.
It's the best.
But
like
and now honestly there is. Like, I don't know. There's people who are probably just big Bayonetta fans who are digging some stuff up on Helena to maybe that if this stuff's true, she might not be the most credible person. Like, she's apparently a Trumper person. I don't know if that's...
Oh, okay.
I don't know if that's actually true. That's just Twitter talk right now.
Well, here's the thing. She does quote the Bible at them. So if we don't know, it could go either way at this point.
I suspect there's more to be found here. So I don't know. Honestly. I feel like I'm copping out here a little bit.
To me, it's weird. It is weird to ask people to boycott on your behalf.
I do agree. But, hey, if it's true that she got off $4,000, tell that story. No problem with telling that story. But, yeah, I don't like coming out and saying boycott the game so much. That's just me, though. Yeah. Still, hey, offer her what she's worth.
If you do want to boycott, though, I say do it, because it's your money.
Absolutely, yeah, hey. Shit, there's a lot of people out there who deserve a boycott now. Activision Blizzard, if you want to boycott them, I get it. If you want to boycott SNK, I get it. Ubisoft, Riot Games.
It's getting harder and harder to ethically consume.
Well, you can't. Like, I don't know. I'm really bothered at this point by giving SNK money, but
it's like everything else around you. Where can you put your money?
Yeah, exactly. So, like, hey, maybe I'll just fucking buy King of Fighters and Metal Slug Tactics and not worry about it because
unfortunately, you just gotta grit your teeth.
I mean, shit. If you go far enough down the line, like our consoles are made in part by slave labor. So.
Yep. It's awful. Yeah. I hate it. I wish it wasn't that way, but unfortunately, this is the world we live in.
Well, the world we live in will be the world without hentai on Switch.
Oh, no. No.
My transitions are getting great. So, honestly,
Say it isn't
I have this link here, and I, didn't even really click on it. What the hell's the deal here? So, get... Gamu, oh boy, this
Gamatsu?
Not Gamatsu, the website. This is a publisher. Gamazumi.
Oh no.
Gamazumi. They've put out some adult.
Write that down.
They put out some adult-themed Switch games, including Elle's Fantasy Hentai Puzzle, Beauty Bounce, and Inside Her Bedroom. And bedroom is in parentheses here, so it's inside her bedroom. According to the company, its next hentai-themed game... This is, by the way, I should credit, because this one I'm kind of reading word for word. This is from VGC. Their next... Where the hell? I lost my place now. Their next hentai-themed game, Hot Tentacle Shoot...
Oh my god.
...has been rejected by Nintendo because of an allegedly refreshed stance on adult content. We received an answer from Nintendo and now have confirmation that they do not allow uncensored boobs on their consoles now.
This is a travesty.
Uh-huh.
How dare they? Wait, hold on. It's just the boobs?
I guess?
So, wait. You could have straight up full-on tentacle porn as long as they wear a bra. It's fine.
I guess.
This is fun.
This means all games... This means that now all games with boobs nudity should be censored, and that's why our game was rejected in the first place. Also, our recently announced game, Elves Christmas Hentai Puzzle, was also rejected due to having nudity. That's all the info we have so far. We'll try to send the games without nudity for approval again and see what they say.
What the fuck?
So
wait, that means there will be there are hentai games that have exclusive Switch ports that have different features because they're not porn games.
Game preservationists have fun with that shit.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's weird that they've allowed this in the past, honestly.
I get it, man.
But, I mean, Nintendo, they're normally so seen as the family-friendly company. And, hey, I mean, it's not like they're making these games, but still.
Hey, listen. People get horny. You can't stop it.
You can stop it on your console. Sony and Microsoft don't allow this shit.
Well, I've seen some of the stuff that's on the PlayStation Store. They get close.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They get close.
So what was Nintendo's breaking point here?
I don't know. It was Fire Emblem.
Yeah. Yeah, honestly. It's a...
They were like, the tea time, it's too steamy. You gotta roll it back.
All right, last thing. It's time to talk about Mario trailer.
Yes. Okay. I kind of love this trailer.
Do you?
Not gonna lie. I kind of really want to see.
Okay,
this.
well, let's go through the individual parts.
Mm-hmm.
Yay or nay on Bowser's voice first.
Amazing.
Yeah. I don't think anybody's gonna say nay on that.
It's amazing. I will say. It's really cool the penguins from 64 are in the movie. And then,
but the big one, yay or nay on Mario's voice.
Chris Pratt. I'm kind of in the middle. I don't feel either way. I'm gonna be honest.
So the first time I watched it live, and I wish I'd recorded it, but I didn't. It just sounded like Chris Pratt. But then, when I watched it the second and third time, I do hear a little bit of a Brooklyn accent.
He's doing a Brooklyn
accent.
accent.
Not a major one, but yeah, there's a hint in there of it. Mm-hmm. And I think that's probably the right move to make.
Yeah, it's the right call. It's the right call.
I think it's good-ish. I know people right now...
they don't like
Yeah, I was going to say that, and I was going to say I don't know why. Well, that's not true. I do know why. And some of that's valid. But
I think some of it's valid, but some of it's very unfair.
But yeah, it's some of the shit of I think he's a bad actor, or I think he's bad in movies. No, bullshit. He's great as Star-Lord, and he's fun.
He's fun. I think he's a fun actor. I don't think he's a bad actor.
I like him in movies. I don't know if I like his character. Like, whatever. Like, there's...
as a person, I don't know him, so I'm not going to comment on that.
There's a lot of... Well, whatever. I'm not even gonna... I'm trying to find a way to say it tactfully, but it's probably just best to not say it at all. So, yeah, I think he's good in this movie. I'm just not on board with the whole premise of these characters talking. I know I get the argument that you kind of have to do it for a full-length movie, but it just is off to me.
For me, this is far better than a Zelda movie where Link talks.
Yeah.
I think this is the smarter move.
Man. Now I'm just thinking of that. Shit.
Like, if Link says one word, I will leave the theater. Like, I can't do that. Now, if they were like, tomorrow we're making the Fire Emblem movie, I'd be like, hell yeah. Let's do it.
What about Metroid with Bree?
That'd be cool. I'd be okay
She
with
wants
that.
to do it. She's talking about it forever.
Though, I wonder how you do that. You kind of have to do it like Dread, where it's like set in one location.
Yes.
I think. Because like it's a Metroidvania thing. Like.
Yeah. Yeah, and yeah, I don't mean. I'm just thinking. Do you make it animated? Do you not? Or
I'm gonna be honest. The movie's probably gonna be good.
Which one? Mario now?
Mario.
It probably will be. Yes, I agree. I think it just. I don't know. I'm so conflicted on it. That like, I think everything about it seems good, but I'm also just not that interested. It's just not the Mario that my Mario doesn't talk. I'm sorry. I know that's I'm true. Being an old man yelling at clouds here, but it's just the way it is.
At the end of the day, though, we are not 9 years old. I'm a 27-year-old man, and you're in your 30s. Like, it's not. God. Our opinions don't.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. This thing's gonna blow up huge. This thing's gonna be massive.
Yeah, kids will love it. That's all that matters.
Yeah, I actually showed it to my niece. She was very scared of Bowser.
It's weird. He's kind of intimidating.
When something scary comes on TV, she doesn't cover her eyes. She covers her ears, and I don't get that. But it's very funny.
Okay.
It's very funny.
She knows what scares her the most, and it's sound.
So she did that around Bowser, which was hilarious to me. She did like the penguins. Yeah, movie's gonna blow up. I just probably won't go. Honestly.
I'm just mad they took away Mario's ass.
Yeah, that too.
They took his cake away.
Why? Why did they do this to us?
How dare they?
We still haven't even seen Donkey Kong yet.
That's true.
And
And he's in the movie.
Yeah, it's Seth Rogen. And allegedly that's the next movie.
Yeah. Because Universal Studios is building the Donkey Kong themed area, so they need a movie to go with it.
And the tag at the end of this trailer was a little Luigi, but not much. He didn't say any words. You hear him kind of. You
do hear Charlie Day, though.
He's kind of huffing. He's running away from a bunch of dry bones, so you hear him like huffing and puffing, but he doesn't say any words.
Yeah, because he's got the fake J's.
So there's that reveal. There's still Peach to see. There's still a lot to reveal here. It's out in April. Is that right?
March? Is it in March or April?
I thought April, but I might be wrong.
Either way, I'll be there to see that movie.
Well, you're gonna have to report on it because I don't think I'm going. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'm just being a grump right now, and I'll cheer up by April. It's just all.
I mean, I said I wasn't gonna see the Sonic movie, and then I saw it.
I still haven't seen either Sonic movie.
They're so good, dude. They're really good.
I am not even a Sonic hater.
I'm not
By the way, there was a new trailer for the combat in Sonic Frontiers that came out. The game looks pretty cool.
I don't know. Could be good.
Yeah. I'm feeling better.
The God of War killer. It's coming.
Fuck. Anyway, is that it for Mario?
I think it is.
Is it going to be the biggest movie grossing game of all time? I think right now, number one, believe it or not, is Warcraft. Mostly because of China.
I kind of like that movie.
I didn't see it. It looked real bad to me, but I didn't see the full movie, so I shouldn't say much. Because it blew up in China.
Yeah.
God, my allergies are bothering me. This time of year is bad for me. It's been.
It is.
But anyway,
it's a tough time.
So is this gonna top Warcraft? Is Mario big in China? They've launched. They put out that they did a partnership with I think Tencent to put out.
Do the Chinese love dry bones?
Yeah.
That's my question.
To put out, well, I think skeletons are forbidden in China.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah.
They can't have the movie then.
So I remember they put out that a set-top box in partnership with Tencent, I believe, and it played like old games. Like it put this out like 4 years ago or so, and it was playing Mario Galaxy. So like, shit.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's cool, but it was just like that game was almost a decade old by that point.
Yeah, that's like Galaxy 2. Good times.
So I don't know if it's gonna make a bunch of money in China. Which was Warcraft's secret to success. It's gonna be bigger than Detective Pikachu, which I love Detective Pikachu.
The movie's great. I love that movie.
It seems like it was kind of a slightly financially disappointing to them, but I love that movie.
Yeah, but it's great, so who cares?
Well, let's get out of here. I'm Mario'd out. My allergies bothered me. I'm done. Hunter, where can we find you on Twitter and your other podcasts and stuff?
You can listen to Phantom Zone and Comic Club anywhere. We're everywhere. I'm sort of a podcast slut that way. You can follow me on Twitter at young_comic_ or I think it's just young_comic. And
I thought there was
you can follow me on,
I thought there was an underscore after.
There might be. I don't know.
You'll find it.
Yeah. Hey, if you're watching the video version, it's underneath your page right now.
That's right. You can follow me on Twitch. I haven't been streaming a lot because I've just been busy, but I occasionally stream GameCube games and other stuff. So I'm going to be streaming some old Warcraft when Dragonflight drops, probably. So that'll be fun. Yeah, check me out there. That's Young Kame on Twitch.
Cool. I am Eric Freshley. I'm on Twitch and YouTube at Freshly Streamed Games. There's an E between the L and the Y in Freshly. Please subscribe to this podcast on YouTube and other podcast services, and leave a review, by the way, on Apple, Spotify, anywhere else. Reviews all around. And we'll be back in 2 weeks, I hope.
We'll be talking about Gotham Knights.
Yeah, Gotham Knights, and God, actually, let me look at my little thing here.
Well, isn't there another game coming out like next Tuesday?
2 weeks will be the 30th, and let me look on what's on my schedule.
Ooh, the day before the spooky holiday. It'll be a Halloween episode.
Nice. I will, on my schedule here, I have written down that I have to sign up for my health insurance, so, that we'll talk about that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, shit, that reminds me. I gotta send out some paperwork.
Mario and Rabbids is out the day before Gotham Knights. Mario and Rabbids the 20th, and Gotham Knights the 21st. And also the 1.0 launch of Second Extinction is out the same day, which
we're all clamoring.
I'm interested in it. I don't know, since it's the same day as those two, I don't know if I'll make time for it, but
I think we're reaching peak dinosaur saturation. I'll be honest.
Well, the Dino Crisis fans will be sad to hear that. But anyway,
Unfortunately.
let's go. I'm tired. Goodbye.